What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I actually have audio this time. As always, I'm your co-host, Donovan Quick. And yeah, we have some bad news. Jaylen Waddle has been ruled out for tomorrow's game against the Broncos due to his concussion that he suffered towards the end of the game against the Patriots last Sunday night. That concussion looked a little bit worse than most, because most concussions, like, oh, you just like slightly hit your head and it bounces off the turf. He got a helmet to the side of the head and he was just in pain for a while. Now, a lot of us were hopeful because normally concussions, it's like, okay, you're out of the game, but then you're back the next week. This one, I think the Dolphins, with their history, and I kind of side with the Dolphins on their history, okay, versus opposing teams and fans and whatever saying that we mishandle concussions. I'm on the side of the Dolphins that we're a little overly cautious, especially now with the history. And with all that being said, he's also dealing with that oblique injury. So maybe they're like slowly putting him through this. Like, okay, you got your head knocked out, you got your oblique injury that you're dealing with, which makes it a lot tougher to take hits. Maybe we just give you a rest, let you get fully healthy, both in your head and in your oblique, and we'll bring you back out next time. Especially, like, if you look at the other side of the ball, the Broncos defense, besides Patrick Surtain, their defense is not good. Justin Simmons, their starting safety, is out. Kareem Jackson has not been good this year. Frank Clark, their edge rusher, their star edge rusher, is also out. And they've had no one that's actually been producing for that defense besides those really key guys. And we talked about that in the live stream this past Thursday, if you guys were in it. And Jacob and I were also talking like, hey, like, do we want Jaylen Waddle to play in this game? Like, obviously, we want all of our key pieces to play every single week. But do we really want to waste him or try to rush him back against a team like the Broncos that is so also hurt and is not that good on defense, where we don't really necessarily need our two star receivers, our two top 10 receivers? Maybe we can get away with just having Tyreek on that field, and as well as Braxton Berrios, Eric Ezukama, River Craycraft, and we just called up Robbie Chosen Anderson as well. So it's going to be a combination of all those guys. They're going to be making up for what Waddle is going to be leaving out on the field. And, it's going to be interesting to see. I think Smythe gets a lot more involved. They're talking about Devon A-Chain also being a lot more involved. And, with also Savon Ahmed being out as well. So, guys, I think we'll be fine. I think this is the best case for Jaylen Waddle. Let him have his rest. Let him come back completely healthy next week against the Bills in Buffalo, because that's going to be one of our toughest games until like late October, early November. Like that's going to be our rough stretch of games is late October, early November. So we want as many guys to be as healthy as possible. I think that's a reason that with Teron Armstead, we let him miss the first two games. I think the first one he wasn't necessarily ready for, but he was amped up and practicing leading up to the Patriots game, and the Dolphins are like, you know what? We're going to rest you. We're feel confident with Kendall Lamb at starting left tackle for right now. We want you to be as healthy as you could possibly be for this tough stretch. And also Jalen Phillips, who missed last week, he said he felt like he was ready to go, but he understood it's a long season. They want us to be as healthy as possible for these stretches that, are just mounds and mounds of tough teams. Like, yeah, I believe we're the best team in the AFC. Definitely one of the best teams in the NFL. But we have Buffalo. That's going to be a tough game. We have the Eagles. That's going to be a tough game. We want all these guys to be as healthy as possible for these tough matchups. And I think that's a reason that they kind of slowly put him through concussion protocol. They slowly are like letting him get healthy so he can be at full strength for the next few games. That being said, you know, guys, I'm not happy I haven't been to fantasy leagues. If you guys are looking for someone to substitute him in fantasy, if you're looking at a flex spot, I would consider Devon A-Chain. I think he's going to have a huge role this week. If not, Durham Smythe for those tight end premiums. And if you're not in a tight end premium, I would say go with Braxton Berrios. That's if you're strictly looking to stay on the Dolphins side of the ball. In real life football, I'm going to guess that the Dolphins are going to be using a lot more of Eric Ezukanma all over the field. I think they're going to use kind of Braxton Berrios more in that Waddle role than anybody else. That kind of hybrid slot role. I think he's going to be in the slot. I think Ezukanma may be on the boundary. Maybe we see some Cedric Wilson in this game. He's been a healthy scratch the last 2 games. With Robbie Chosen being called up, you know, it's going to be interesting to see if he actually makes the starting rotation over Cedric Wilson. It's going to be interesting. It's going to definitely 100% be interesting. Make sure y'all keep an eye out for my keys to the game. It's going to be dropping tomorrow at 12 o'clock. It's going to drop every game day at 12 o'clock. Doesn't matter if the game actually... Okay, for the Kansas City game, it'll be dropping the night before. But every other game is going to be dropping 12 o'clock, no matter if it's at 1, 4. It's going to 8 like it was yesterday or last week. It'll be dropping at 12 o'clock every game day besides the overseas game. All right, guys, I will catch y'all later. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think. Are you guys concerned for this game now, or what's your thought process of what's going on? I want to hear what's going on in your heads. Let me know in the comments below. Deuces.